Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hardcore Heroes Otherside. How are you guys doing today?
Is this Otherside still?
This
I'm
is
good.
well, you guys are on the other side, man.
We're in the
You're
shadow
fucking
plane.
shadow plane.
Yeah, but it's the name of the show. All right, whatever.
Did Arcadia? So wait, when we go back, are we going to be playing Arcadia again?
No, when you guys go back, it'll just be Hardcore Heroes again.
There's no more Arcadia. We broke it.
Arcadia's gone.
Sorry, we need your help. We messed up.
Yeah, you almost one-shot a dragon. It's all over. Neal just kind of threw everything up in the air, gave up.
Fuck it all. All right. So it's been about a week since we played last. How's life, Ryan? Let's start with you. How's your week been?
Well, I had to see this old friend that I don't really like that much, but I felt kind of obligated to.
Dude, you shouldn't say that about Julian.
No. Let's see. I spent a couple days down in Portland in the general vicinity of Neal. He didn't have a car, and I was also working on this paper, which I just submitted this morning. So, woo!
Congratulations.
Fingers crossed that it gets
Nice.
I did forget. Ryan, could you
reviewers,
cycle your cam, please? I forgot to set up.
Yeah, am I
You're Van
speaking
Helsing right
as
now.
Van Helsing right now?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to stay that? Just get all those ridiculous stat
There
rolls.
we go. And now Malachi,
Yeah,
could you
I'll
cycle?
keep that. I'll keep that 17 charisma. Don't mind if I do.
Beautiful. All right, my bad, everyone. So, friends visiting from out of town, traveling all over the place, finishing up papers.
In case it wasn't obvious, thanks was that Neal was in Portland this
That
past
was
week. I guess a spoiler for his week recap.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm the friend he didn't
grub
want to
together,
see.
and then you came up to Seattle for like 12 hours. No, like 18 hours.
Yeah. It was a good trip.
And yeah, that was fun. And yeah, just this morning, paper's done. I've been all stressed out. Neal's like been neglected by me all week or whatever. But
It's okay.
got to do what you got to do. How
Real work
about
comes first.
the other guys? How was?
Most noteworthy thing for me was I got Lamentations of the Flame Princess, which is kind of like if Darkest Dungeon and Basic D&D had a baby. And I'm pretty excited to play this. I can't really show all the art on here because some of it would probably get you banned from Twitch, Neal. There's one that's like an alligator monster crawling out of a lady's hoo-ha. It's pretty fucking crazy, some of the stuff they do in here.
Is it a video game?
No, it's basically Basic D&D. So it's a tabletop game.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I always enjoy those I like games that are pretty quick to play. Like, second edition is pretty quick in play, but it takes like forever to set up characters because it's like, oh, what's my open doors roll? 7% for this strength. And
Hey, all that is now automated with the new character sheet
That's
that you can
true.
find on
That was
regalgoblins.com, which is currently down, so you can't find them there. Suckers!
yeah, that was a big deal. That was really nice.
That's been bothering me this week, that Neal.
That it's down?
The Regal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
It's
I
a pain
figured
to
out
play
a
wizard
solution.
with. Yeah, it's a pain to play wizard without your spell list.
Yes. I use it to peruse the spells that I have available because I'm never sure which ones you actually use and which ones you don't. So.
Yeah. Anyway. Lamentations of the what?
Flame Princess?
Flame Princess.
Yeah, it's kind of a basic D&D clone, but it's like, it doesn't have a set world. It just kind of puts some effort into being a little bit more grim,
weird,
depressing. Yeah, it's weird. Actually, that's what they describe it as. It's like weird fantasy role-playing game.
Weird is right. Some of these pictures. Are they all? Is it all women as well?
No, it's not all women.
Every single picture's a woman. That's it.
A lot of them are. A lot of them are. You're right there.
Well, it is Lamentations of the Flame Princess.
Yeah, she's like the bruiser of the group, and she dies like multiple times in the official fan art. I don't know. This game is kind of weird. Let me find one that probably won't get you banned.
It's like a woman having sex with a statue.
Oh yeah, that's Medusa. I got that right here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She turns them to stone.
And then fucks them.
Or probably the
it's a
other
weird
way
name.
around, actually.
Yeah, I think it's they were having sex, and then she took the mask off.
I don't know. That's what happens if you can't perform. Gonna take matters into our own hands.
I would say let's switch it to Malachi to save us from
Yeah,
this
let's-
conversation,
yeah.
but he's kind of the problem. What's up, Nick? How's the last week been for you?
It's been alright, yeah. I played Rocket League for the first time ever, which I'd kind of put off because I don't like racing games and I don't like football. but then somehow the combination of the two is quite good. It's really, really hard though.
I
Like,
hate
really
that
hard.
game so much.
It's impossibly difficult to not just get destroyed in your 10 placement matches when you've never played it before. But that aside, I also I've been listening to this band called Run the Jewels, and I'm going to see them on Friday. It's pretty cool. So we can't do next Friday because I'm going to see them. Don't know if anyone listens to them, but
I,
pretty badass.
I saw them on like NPR does they like concerts in their offices once in a while.
Right? Were
And
they
I
good?
somehow stumbled across their live performance because it was so straight. It's like a hip hop duo, and I was like, why are they on NPR? Like on their
Don't know why NPR is.
YouTube
but-
series or whatever.
National Public Radio.
It's the national. It's like the National Public Radio in the U.S.
Was it good?
So it's, yeah, I dug it.
I'm looking
I
forward
hadn't
to
heard
it.
them before, so it was sort of out of context live performance. That was just a video of it, so I'm sure.
Yeah,
it'll be
well,
even more
I've had the
exciting.
tickets for a while, and I had never listened to them, and I realized it was this Friday, so I thought, well, best listen to them. So I put their playlist on Spotify, and it's pretty cool. I like it.
Have
Other
fun.
than that,
Have fun.
yeah, work's been, standard. The house is moving forward, so I think 4 weeks should be in the new house.
Very exciting.
Congrats.
We had terrorist attack in England, which it's not great, but
Yeah, I heard about that.
it could have been worse, I think. And you all think that London's like 5 minutes away, but it seems far away from me.
Yeah.
By American standards, it's like down the road, but
Wait, you can't see London from your house?
Doesn't the eye just kind of stick up over the? I don't know what you guys have out there, glades and.
Yeah, I thought it was
windows?
just it had this massive tower that could be seen from everywhere else in the UK.
the Tower of London, yeah, where we just hang all our criminals and torture them. No, that was the good old days, though. Back when things were done properly. But yeah, no, that's me.
Guys, London to Manchester is
About 280 miles, is it?
218.
Ah, it's far though, right?
That's pretty far.
It's not too bad.
That's like 4 hours.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours on the train, but
Oh. Well, yeah, because you have proper public transportation.
Funny,
If you wanna travel across my state, you better have a car ready.
you
But
think
you're taking like an 8-hour trip on a bus.
you think it's good here? You want to try going to like France? Like, holy shit! I got the train from Paris to, what's the name of that place? La Rochelle. It's like 2 hours on the train. That was the comfiest train I've ever been on.
I
trains in
heard
France.
Germany is pretty good too.
Well, yeah, probably. It's probably just everywhere apart from England, and then it's even worse in America.
Yeah, America.
You guys just don't even have trains, do you?
We do, but they're used for
Sort of
freight.
do. Yeah.
Right.
We don't really have a good passenger train system. It's one of those
Yeah.
things that you take the train because you want to take a train and go slowly.
Yeah.
They're wildly inefficient,
It's-
kind of
they're like
expensive, and
at-
sort of uncomfortable.
Yeah, they cost about as much as like flying would.
The closest
in
you
a
get
lot of
is a
cases.
tram, and that's like going around a city, not
Yeah.
long distance
Yeah,
travel.
there's light
Light-
rails catching on in a lot of cities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Holy shit, though! I've just found out the police have arrested someone in connection with the terrorist attack, and it's like 10 minutes away from him.
Breaking news here on Hardcore Heroes.
10 minutes away from where you live?
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice area as well. It looks
Hell,
white.
London and Manchester are pretty close together now, aren't they?
Yeah. No, well, there is a big Islamic community in Manchester. Not that, I'm not saying that all Muslims are terrorists or anything. I'm just saying that these
You just
terrorists
dug
happen to be
yourself pretty
Muslim.
deep into that hole.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
let's not
move
go down
on.
that rabbit hole.
I
Let's
think
get
we
in
all
character so I can discriminate
against
Well,
dwarves.
on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And make
All right.
everyone laugh along.
So let's talk about where we were last week. Give us a big recap.
Well, I think Sean needs to start.
Oh yeah. So we started out last session. I think we retconned Burning Kind because I found the Oil of Timelessness when I was like going through his character sheet last week. But instead of Burning Kind, Van stripped him naked and lathered every square inch of his body in oil. And Elise then went on to do the same thing with 7 other random corpses. I think she brought the knights up as well. And we just have like 8 bodies in the middle of, or off in the corner of this temple now, waiting for an opportunity for us to cast Raise Dead on them, hoping that that Oil of Timelessness will keep them preserved for long enough for it to work outside of its usual time range. After that, Van started to, I think right after, Van made an uplift scroll looking to cast Raise Dead.
But you got
yeah, and
cold
then
feet.
after successfully planting Uplift on the scroll, I started to get a little bit concerned that I would just immediately die if I tried to do it.
For no
in
reason.
case you're wondering, like, if I were trying to memorize Raise Dead, like, through the normal spell process, I'd just be like, oh, I'll try it, see what happens. But, like, Uplift specifically says you just get the spell as soon as you cast it. Like, you merge your spirits together, and you just, like, make this spell. So I was a little bit worried that it'd be like, heresy, and the gods just go, lightning bolts down on me and kill me instantly.
That's what Neal wants you to think, though.
Yeah, no, he got in my head pretty good. I'll give him that. He succeeded. But yeah, so I made Uplift and then didn't cast Raise Dead. And after that, I started to memorize some new spells to investigate this mirror, and that's where I think Nick and Brian come in.
Yeah.
So-
Pop. Teleporting into the shadow plane.
Yeah, there was a bit of a commotion. I gave some food to Jeeves, and all the peasants that were alive started to get a bit antsy. There was threats of fireballs, and we calmed everything down one way or another. I don't know, we kind of like just caught up with all the NPCs, right?
It was a heartwarming reunion. Come on, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, it was hard, but you
A
kept me-
webcomic inspiring reunion.
True. Yeah, there was the demon worshippers cult led by Lord Seth. That ruffled some feathers a little bit. And then we stumbled upon the portal down at the base of the underground pyramid. No one was sure what it was. The Dimensionalist couldn't work it out.
Well, you
Right.
gave me like 2 minutes.
and then I tried.
I think as we were planning on leaving and coming back with more spells to like divine
Yeah.
the nature of this, I think did Jeeves lean against it or something?
Yeah,
and get
Jeeves
himself
like tried pushing it.
yeah.
So I
and
tried to
fell
grab
in.
him to pull him back in, but he just dragged me through with him. Before I found out what was on the other side, I think then Sean managed to grab Georg and throw him through. So we all
managed to stubbornly drag Georg through the portal with
Yeah.
much effort.
Yeah.
And then we all landed on the other side of a bleak landscape cast in grayscale, much similar to the one we were in, except it was unrecognizable to anywhere else on Earth. And we were at the apex of a long, chiseled out road with sheer cliffs on either side. And there was some huge demon thing with a whip and a sword and a bunch of other fat little demons with him, like right in front of us, Neal, 50 feet.
Yeah, something
and
like that.
they
50
were
to
like
100.
they were building a road in the shadow plane of like hell or wherever we teleported to,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
Like
Yeah.
a high speed highway,
Mhm.
to shuttle demons straight to the straight to the
To the
shadow
portal
plane.
to the prime material plane, shadow plane.
Is that a fair
Yeah.
assessment, or am I making some?
I think you guys are making some great speculations.
The only yeah. Did you have anything else to say, Nick?
Well, I was going to finish
Like,
what
recap.
happened after the demons, but you can.
Go ahead, finish up, and then I had.
So we proceeded to kill the demons. Well, basically, Georg flew around shouting stuff at them, casting defensive spells while I killed the demons.
I tanked the fight with the demons. Excuse me, I was the only one that didn't go unconscious. You're
All right.
welcome for.
If by unconscious you mean stunned for 2 rounds. But yeah.
Oh, Nick.
So we,
Nick almost died in that fight. I decided to throw this out there because through your stone skin you took 9 damage, which was almost enough to kill you.
almost, yeah, the thing's breath weapon. When Neal said roll for save against breath weapon, I knew there was a chance. How much damage did that do, Neal? Can you tell us? Could it have killed me?
I think it was double. It would have been 18, right? Didn't you save and take 9?
I think we both failed.
No,
You
I
guys both failed, yeah.
Could
So
it have
it's,
done
probably,
15?
it's probably like 2d6, I would guess, if it did 9. Could
Do you
be
only have
2d6.
15 life?
Yep. Although now that we die at -10, I'm a lot harder to kill.
Tough life.
A little.
Yeah.
I have to say, the viewers have been frantically trying to come up with ways to get you more HP, and I
Well,
have to say it looks a little desperate. I think there are some solutions in there, especially when you hit level 9.
There are a
But
few options.
it's been and it's the just the
There's been
hoops
some
you have to
great
jump
number
through
crunching.
to make up for just
Yeah.
yeah.
There's been
Well,
some
no-
great number crunching, though. Apparently, both Georg and Van Helsing have bigger egos than Malachi.
How'd you figure that out?
I'll buy that out. How did that
Ego is
calculation
like,
go?
I think it's charisma plus intelligence
Ah.
plus level.
Mm.
It's for
Nice.
intelligent magic weapons.
Huh.
Hmm.
So we killed the demons anyway, and then looted them. We grabbed some sort of magic tuning fork off the demon, and then proceeded to jump back through the portal. I was the last through, looked over my shoulder, saw another 3 big demons and about 20 little ones charging down the road towards us. Quickly followed through the portal. We took up defensive positions, ready to fight for our lives, only to be met with silence as nothing came through the other side.
Yep.
And that's where we ended, I think.
Yeah, and so I've got this interdimensional tuning fork that seems to detect portals or other dimensional openings.
Yeah.
I feel like Nick declared that he took the whip and sword, which were non-magical, but potentially.
I don't think I did.
Yeah,
did
I think there
Okay,
was
you
too
didn't.
much confusion
Okay,
and panic,
alright,
and you were being
that's fair
chased by
enough, 'cause I don't
I
have-
did
yeah.
detect magic, and the weapons weren't magical, so I just left them. I
Yeah.
just took the tuning
All right,
fork.
well, I don't have them on my character sheet, so unfortunately, I guess I got left behind.
Why did you want them?
They'd make the yeah.
Dude, who doesn't want demon weapons?
Those are art objects right there. Demonic whips and swords.
We can get.
That's worth a pretty penny on the surface.
I've got a feeling there's a lot of demons through there that we could probably fight if we want to.
Yeah.
And
And the
didn't
only
you see like
yeah.
3 others with the same weaponry charging down the road at you? So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we've got plenty of chances to get that bone
Yeah.
sword and whip.
The only other detail worth adding, I don't think the other character. Well, yeah, the other characters don't. I don't know. They've pieced together that Georg is possessed by one of these demons, or was attacked by one of these demons on the
Yeah, but it's
on
not that
in the Shadow
unusual,
Realm.
right?
Yeah,
Does it-
the implications are that, I mean, it seems like Van probably has a good portion of the population has some. There are these
Well-
demons that go around possessing you here on the Shadow Plane. And that's,
Didn't you say you've
Oh,
got
yeah.
like an armband on or something if you've been possessed?
Yeah, I don't think I gave one to Georg.
So
I was
how
talking to
many
Ryan
are-
about it, and he said that Van probably worked it out.
Yeah, it was never explicitly stated. I assume
Yeah.
Van is a clever enough guy, and he's probably got more experience with these things.
Mhm.
That like through Georg's
I
desperate.
might
what
offer
happened,
to use
know,
you as a
des-
test subject for some.
Or
some
I've
ideas I
got
have.
probably got my own ideas for how to. Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
In any case, I think we are ready to hop back in game.
Mhm.
Hang on to
Okay.
your souls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do some plane hopping. We're jumping out of this plane.
All right, so you guys are in the basement. A few minutes have passed and nothing has come through the portal. Jeeves is sitting down with his back against a wall, kind of taking stock of the situation.
God damn it, Jeeves.
I'm sorry, my lord.
Maybe they can't fit.
Jeeves is at
He was-
1, right? He didn't take any magical healing. Or he took the magical healing that I did to get him out of negatives, but he's still
Right,
at 1.
but that's it. He's wiped. He needs a full day of
Yeah,
recovery.
I'll go ahead and give him.
So was he
four.
at
No,
negative
no more
equals?
magical healing will help him
Okay.
until he's had a day of rest.
Then give that one to Nick.
Ah,
Nick, gain 4 HP, please.
okay. So looks like they're not coming through.
Not for the moment, at
Apparently
least.
not.
Why
Anyone
would
want to
they-
take a peek?
Why would they
I don't-
build
Can
this
we?
road if they can't go through the portal?
Well, let's see. Van looks at this portal. Is it like, how big is it?
It's about 5.5, 6 feet tall, but it's like it's maybe a foot off the ground.
Mm-hmm. And then it's how wide?
4 feet.
Okay, so it looks wide and like tall enough for one of those things to squeeze through.
You know, those guys were pretty big, and they were already hunched over at that size. But maybe, I mean, they could probably hunch over even more or go in at an angle.
Right.
You know, if it's about their full
Right.
height, then no, because they're like 8 feet tall or 7 feet tall.
Mhm.
But they're just kind of perpetually in a hunched state.
Okay.
Perhaps they can't fit.
It seems rather odd that this is even here, really. Have you seen any other like that in this place?
I mean, Malachite, it's the first one I've seen, but I think this entire place is a little bit on the odd side.
You know, I agree with that, but it almost seems like they're planning, you know, like you would think that the demons would come through the portal, but I haven't seen any others while I've been here, and it sounds like you haven't either, so...
Maybe.
Sorry, can you say that again? Like out of game.
Well, like, why is the portal there if the demons aren't coming through it?
Maybe the traffic is meant to go the other direction.
possible.
I don't know that these demons really have much interest in. Well,
They might just
maybe they'd
live
like
on
to
the
get
other
to the
side.
prime material plane, but what interest do they have?
In the shadow plane of another world.
Well, because maybe from here they can find a way into the prime material plane.
Oh, exactly. Where do you think all the
Well,
methods came from?
But they've not come through, have they?
Not come through. I've got 2 in
Well,
my basement.
Yeah, but the demons here, they were right outside the portal. They could have come through at any moment, but they didn't, and they haven't now.
what I'm wondering is, Malchus sent monsters to us when we attempted to enter this temple. I have a feeling he wanted us to not find this thing, whatever this portal is.
Malchus didn't want you to find this.
Most likely. Why else would he send monsters to us as soon as we reach this place?
I don't know that. You think Malchus sent monsters chasing you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Unless somebody
definitely
has
did.
recently stolen his identity.
What have you done to anger your grandfather so?
I've done nothing to him. Well, I guess I did murder a bunch of his clerics, but he was already missing before that.
Well, that'll do it.
Look, it was a long story. I did kind of rub that in his face too. now that
How
I
many-
think about it.
How many days ago did you fight those things?
I wrote a scroll between now and then, so it's probably been about a week.
And how long ago, Georg, was it that we went to the Shadow Mountains?
I don't know, about a week.
Neal, can you help out with this, or are you gonna stay quiet? What's the
I mean, to be fair,
I don't really know time.
Van's been in the shadow
Yeah,
plane.
I don't really know
night
the
and
passage
day.
time. I'm guessing
for
a week because
months
I did
now.
spend about 4 days making a scroll.
how
That's
long
the only
ago
real-
was it that
No,
we went?
how do you
definitely
tell
more than a
time?
But it's more than a week since we went to the Shadow Mountains, definitely. It's got to be like 2 weeks.
Let's
Because-
see.
We fought the whole dragon and everything in between then.
You were in the Shadow Mountains on the 14th and 15th of December, and
So
you
2
went
weeks, I guess.
here. You left to this plane of existence on the 29th.
Yeah, so it's about at
God
least
knows
2
what
weeks.
day it is now, but
Sure, so that kind of implies that Malchus knew a week before you got here that you were, well, either that you were coming here or that he was gathering those creatures to kill you.
Perhaps he has some in reserve. He merely wanted more.
Now, is it a coincidence that the place he summons these creatures is the place where the gods are the most powerful on this realm? Maybe here is one of the only places he has control over.
Wait, fill me in. Have creatures were summoned to this pyramid?
Yes.
Yeah, the same ones that Malchus asked us to.
There was Malchus
Gather for
conjured
it.
some sort of vortex. It looked to be a symbol. Monsters came pouring out from it. He summoned
Displace
monsters
the
in this
beasts.
temple.
Like
I
methods.
can't imagine a reason that he would. Sure, I can memorize spells here, but what good does that do me? I can't shift through planes. That power is not granted to me by chiefs, nor is it granted to Mother Elise through a stair. Malchus would know this.
So you think he's trying to stop you from getting to this portal?
I can't imagine any other reason.
Why would Malchus want to? What interest would he have in this?
I don't know.
How does a god travel from the celestial plane to the prime material plane, Van Helsing?
So we haven't actually discussed this, but there is some lore that Van Helsing would know for certain.
Yeah,
on
I
this
do have a
matter.
religion. I do have a religion proficiency.
Right.
So
When a god travels from the celestial plane to the prime material plane, they appear as a comet in the sky for a period of days. It's not an instant travel, and it is very apparent. There's no way to go from celestial plane to prime material plane without all the gods and everyone on Earth kind of seeing this, bright comet in the sky for a few days.
if Malchus had done it while he was below the horizon, though, would we have still seen the comet?
I think that doesn't apply in this situation. The
So what about
multi-plane thing kind of screws with perception, and it couldn't be below the horizon. It would be
Okay,
apparent to everyone on the planet.
Okay, so we would see the comet if he had traveled to the prime material plane.
Yes.
Because we know that he vanished while he was below the horizon.
Right.
So we know he didn't come in that way, but if
That's
Malchus
there
would
was a very large comet observed in northern sky some months back.
Was
Is
there?
that true?
Was there?
Was there? I don't know. I don't know.
You're thinking of Game of
Gaylord,
Thrones.
puts that
Gaylord, pull
forward.
out that 19 intelligence.
I feel like I read about it in one of Aldrich's books, maybe.
I don't know, Georg. Don't remember a comment. Hear me out though. What would the gods think of Malchus coming to the prime material plane? Is that normal? Would they be concerned, or?
Neal, would I know that's the opportunity for the gods to be like, we could finally fucking thunderbolt this dick and be done with them.
Well, they're all family members. They don't try and kill
Okay.
each other. But it would be obvious if he came, and it would, there would be probably other people coming to check up on him. A
So
god
you
doesn't just come to Earth and all the other gods sit back and be like, "Have a nice trip, sweetie."
Yeah.
So it would be like frowned upon by the other gods, or at least
Their intentions are vague and mysterious to you, but it would be weird.
Maybe Cheese can get pushed around, but you really think there's anyone telling Malchus what to do with his time?
I'm sure Esther would have something to say.
Well, the age of Esther has waned.
And what is
At
this?
least-
The age
at
of
least upon
Malchus?
The age of chaos? Who knows what the historians will call it in a millennia or two.
Like it or not, he's right about that. Chaos has been slowly consuming the entire country.
So another possible explanation, maybe these shadow planes are not as, maybe travel between these shadow planes is not as obvious as in the prime material plane. Maybe Malchus could have slipped down here.
Yeah, a back entrance maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he knew about the ridge in the Shadow Mountains. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's
Perhaps he
some
found a
sort
way
of
to
rift.
travel from the celestial plane to the shadow plane.
Mhm.
And that way of travel was more covert.
Yeah.
Perhaps a comet would have been seen in this sky.
So he comes down to the Shadow Plane and then travels
Starts-
through the ridge to the Prime Material Plane.
By abducting and starts abducting many random peasants and travelers and adventurers.
Yeah, it's hard to...
There's still a big hole in this whole thing. Why is he doing any of this?
Well, just to...
I-
Maybe he can't
you-
do that from the Celestial Plane.
I think you're going to spin your head into a knot trying to reason out the behavior of the Lord of Chaos.
Maybe,
True.
but we can't
I
just
think
let
more-
him carry on stealing people.
I think more than anything, he just wants us mortals to surprise him. Right? Why else would he be entertained in our matters? How many
Sounds
other
like-
places in this world are governed by free will to the extent of...
Do you think transporting hundreds of people to a plane where there's no food for them to eat is free will?
You gonna carry them all up the side of that tower one by one?
I'm just saying that it's not about free will, is it? With Malchus. With him, it's just chaos for anything, any reason, any excuse. Maybe he has to be on the prime material plane to be doing these things that he's been doing. Maybe that's why he wanted to get there.
Neal, you can't retcon your lore to...
It
out
needed to be
there.
done. The lore on comets and gods interplanar travel wasn't written at that point in time, so we're just gonna do a quick retcon that.
I roll to disbelieve that illusion. Garrett will continue to perpetuate the rumor that he either observed or read in a book somewhere that a large comet was observed over
Maybe
northern
it's a
Arcadia.
new god.
The
in this-
thing you
in this
saw was a
year.
slow burning meteorite, and Georg's
also-
not an astrologer.
It also
so he
came
got,
up in it came up in some other Dice and Macbeth campaigns as well.
well, all that
But
shit's
that's possibly a different universe.
yeah.
We're in this wacky plane of existence where Tyrus is a traitorous bastard rather than a super cool metal loving paladin.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Murder loving paladin.
Yeah, I saw that there was a character named Tyrus in Dicing with Death, and I'd never
Yeah.
watched him, so I assumed that was the Tyrus in Hardcore Heroes, and he was like,
Very
it's so
different.
successful
Very
that he retired.
No,
That would be
Tyrus
cool.
and Dicing with Death was like a plague knight. I rolled up a paladin, but he was but we did him evil.
Hmm.
Anyways,
But yes, let's continue.
Spoilers or something.
What if
Not spoilers, because it's been retconned.
What if Malchus wants to cause chaos on the prime material plane, right? Hear me out, but he knows that if he comes down through the traditional manner, that Astaire and Martha and whoever else are gonna mobilize their paladins or their clerics, and he won't get away with it. So instead, he finds some back way through the shadow plane. He goes through that ridge, and maybe he's just hanging out there at the ridge because all he needs to do is be on the prime material plane, and from there he can start teleporting people to the shadow realm. Who knows what else he's doing? He's incentivizing all these clerics to start murdering people. Maybe he has to be there to do that, and maybe that's his goal. Maybe that's where he is, and maybe the way to stop him is to somehow force him back through the ridge, and I don't know, use this tuning fork to blow up the ridge or something, close the portal, trap him back here.
Georg's thinking
Possible.
really loudly.
Could he not simply be slain if we were to go to all that effort anyways? A god who travels down to the prime material plane, I would assume, takes on the penalty of mortality. Is that true, Neal? Like, if a god were avatared onto the prime, like with my religion proficiency, do I know that like a deity could theoretically, it's dangerous for them to go to the prime material plane because they could theoretically be killed?
You know, theologians have speculated on this matter for a long period of time. There are
Okay,
a great
so
many
it's
people
a
who
theory.
think that's the case. Yeah.
Okay. It's a theory.
Even if that's true, though, I think whatever creature that I scryed upon in that cave that ate all those people, I think that's probably the form that he's taken. There's no need to think that he'd be a human. He probably is some sort of shadow dragon.
It's true. If I were a god going down to Earth, I would probably not take on the form of a human.
Right. You're
What
probably
about,
a dragon.
what about the form of many humans? Many cultists spreading your
Then
power and ill
Malchus is
will throughout
already
the
dead.
land.
Well, I do have
Is
my
he, though?
thoughts about Fenlin.
Sorry, there's a yard guy is going. I'm going to mute myself for 5 minutes.
Look, I think maybe we should. Let's first do what we can to get these people back. And then after that, let's settle issues in Shirebrook. Let's make sure power is in the right hands. And then see what we can do about investigating this ridge in the Shadow Mountains.
Fair enough. We may be getting ahead of ourselves here with all of this speculation. Tell me, Malachi, have you managed to secure your barony yet?
Not quite. There's a small problem in my way. Well, two small problems actually. Grumpy small problems.
Oh. See, I told you should be nicer to people. You antagonize the dwarves and it comes back to bite you in the ass.
Did you ever meet Landslide?
Yeah, I met him, right? He was the chancellor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. Because I was like, are you going to send a letter to the queen or do we have to write it for you?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's a dick, man. Well, just standard.
Yeah, he seems a bit short-tempered.
Well, hey. No, you've got to be able to laugh, haven't you? I'm hoping.
I think Van
you can rescue
chuckles
all
at
these
that, and it's
people.
like the chuckle of a man who hasn't laughed in weeks.
I'm hoping that if we can rescue all the people here, that might stand in my favor.
It may.
So, on the topic of that, our mute wizard here probably needs to help us out.
Georg's deep in thought.
Speaking of which, Georg,
Listening to the two of you like conjecture over things that I consider myself expert in.
Georg,
Well, not
speaking
one,
of-
but two lawnmowers orbit my head.
it's like I've got a circular saw outside my house, so you're not in bad company.
I don't know. You wake me out of my trance or something. Did you actually have a question that you wanted Georg to answer, or?
Yeah, how do we...
I had a question that you might know the answer to. Well, I would hope so. I have a spell that might be able to banish these demons that have been possessing people. And am I right in assuming that you are one of the victims? You seemed a bit concerned when you first spoke to me.
I look around somewhat, I don't know, nervously. Is Jeeves still in the room? Is that it, though?
Yes,
We're
he
in
is.
This room with the but it's Jeeves. There's no one else in earshot. We're like deep in the depths of this pyramid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I fear that I appear to have taken on a traveler. I fear that if I or anyone else travels back into the prime materia plane with such a passenger, well, there may be consequences. This one feels like a weak spirit.
I have a spell that you could use to back into an area that monster may not be able to follow. And I figure you might be the safest person to test this on, as you were recently possessed, I assume. Most of the people in my company have been possessed for weeks and weeks, and this thing will slowly fuse more and more with your being over time. I think you might be the safest person to try this.
What are you proposing? Some kind of dismissal? No need to speak in circles, priest. I can create a language of magic.
A point in space that creature will not be able to enter. If you were to back into it, it might force it out of your body. It may be worth an attempt.
Might as well try, Georg.
Why not banish your own sins first, priest?
I haven't eaten in quite a while. I'm worried that if I banish it now, I might just drop dead from starvation on the spot. I assume you're reasonably well fed?
You want some jerky?
Perhaps, but I don't want to go burning through food supplies right now.
I need to get some rest, and then I have some things of my own I should try.
Sure. Keep that prospect in mind.
Speaking of, have you had any issues with safety in this pyramid? Have you ever been attacked here? Aside from the
first time, no. It's been fairly benign in this temple.
It's the safest
we've been in a while.
How often do the gods have access here?
I can speak with the gods anytime as long as I'm in this temple. During the full moon, I can speak with them anywhere. I imagine it with the two of them together. It might be like I'm on the prime material plane again.
Have you been here for such an event?
Not yet.
Do you want to wait, or shall we get you out of?
Let's not wait. There are people dying by the day. I assume.
That's true. We're burning through our food supplies. We're going through the last of our spiders.
The benevolent Baron, they will call him.
We're burning through the last of our spiders.
Why don't you make a copy of that reduce spell for me, and I'll learn it, and then tomorrow we can get the important people out for now and do our experiments on the portal and see if we can't move it here.
Even with your assistance reducing people, I don't think I could transport more than a couple.
Why?
At a time? How many tiny wizards do you think I can fit in these pockets?
Well,
I guess small. maybe 4. I guess if I had a sack of people over my shoulder in addition, do you realize how absurd all this sounds? No, I think choose the most important 4 and
4, yeah. 4. Us 2, Jeeves, and the cleric, the female cleric.
Neal?
But I'm happy to show you one of the most basic and fundamental of spells.
Yes, Sean?
Can I use the bless spell
if it pleases you.
holy water?
For your own purposes.
Holy water needs 3 clerics, 1 to cast create water, 1 to cast purify food and drink, and 1 to cast bless. So 3 clerics at the same time.
Can you do it with 1 cleric?
Okay, I've only got so many hands. So from my deep pockets, I'm pulling out my spellbook for Malachi and 2 vials of holy water for Van Helsing.
You have holy water?
I have 2 vials of holy water.
Do you mind if I try drinking this? The creature inside of me. It's a demon.
You may want to check it first. Can I roll like an int check to remember where this holy water came from? I don't know which god this is to. Enlarge/reduce is the very first spell in my book.
I can make sure it's safe.
Or do you?
I mean, are you going to give me the whole book, or are you just going to make a copy of that spell?
I produced the whole book. It takes days to make a copy of the spell. Well, first level spell maybe a day.
No, I don't think it does it. You can copy it down in like a few hours.
How fast does Neal let you write in Hardcore Heroes? I copy all of my spell books while I'm in this universe.
Copying's pretty quick.
I'm not talking about making a scroll. I'm just talking.
I thought it was on the same length scale as learn. Like I thought the learning process was copying.
No. The learning process is longer than the copying process. You can just transcribe notes pretty quickly, but to learn a spell is a little bit more than just transcribing somebody else's notes.
Yeah.
Actually, can I write is writing a scroll the same thing as?
No, writing a scroll takes more time.
Takes a day for a 1-level spell, right? But I don't need to do any prep. Do I need to have memorized the spell?
Yes, you do need to have memorized the spell, and then it does discharge it from your memory.
Okay.
And you need to consume any material components at the time of scroll writing.
So you're gonna
And
make
how
a
long
copy.
will it take just to copy it? Doesn't that it
So
still
just
takes
like
them a day
copy
to
a
learn
spell
it.
from,
Yeah.
I don't know, how
From,
long does
I
it take
guess-
you to copy a couple of pages?
I didn't know that was a thing you could do to just like write it on a plain piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, that
guess I've
piece of
got-
paper
I
is
guess
super
I've got-
vulnerable, but...
All right, sure. I've
We've
got
been
9
doing
pieces
that
of
for a while.
parchment. So I guess you're saying I can do that because I know the spell. I can do that in less than a day.
If you have this, so if you've got your spell book and you want to copy a first level spell, it'll just take you like an hour or so to write the spell down from one piece of paper to the other.
Cool beans. All right, then I'll roll a d6.
I don't know if you can see my spell list. I don't know if you want to trade, but I'll give you one of mine, level 1s, but I don't think I've got anything you probably need.
If you have armor, I'll grab that in this time. So
yeah,
I
I've
have
got
3 So I hand you 3 pages. I'm deleting 3 pages of parchment written just in plain black ink. You'll probably catch that. You can learn from that, apparently.
Right. So anytime that you
And I'll
are
write- if you give me
submerged in
more
water
war-
or covered
Yeah.
in fire, you're gonna have to make saving throws to see if your untreated papers are
Yep.
destroyed.
Well, yeah. Well, I have a scroll case that I keep in an extra dimensional pocket.
I have a
Hopefully,
scroll, please.
hopefully sealed from fire, or at least with a good saving throw.
So I will spend the same amount of time copying down armor onto some paper, and then I'll learn enlarge.
It's actually reversible to enlarge/reduce. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so it's going to be D2 days to learn, and what's your chance to learn?
75%, but where I'm going to spend the whole time studying, so it's 16 hours a day. So
While this is going on, I'm gonna
So-
ask Malachi.
Ooh, I am sorry, 85.
How many days does
Malachi
that
is
take?
unable
though?
to. Well, God knows it takes a while. There's no movement of the sun. There's no method to measure time.
Well, while this is going on, I'm gonna ask Malachi if he can conjure some food for us to eat. I say I'm
some
incapable of
clerical
such magic
shit.
myself.
I
can
can
try.
What do you think would happen if I enlarged some beef jerky and had them eat it real quick before the spell expired? Like would that permanently satisfy them, or would it just be 45 minutes and then it shrinks in there? Like maybe get some nutrition from it. I really think we should just leave tomorrow and make sure we can get at least our
My
Our
biggest
hero
concern
here
with
up to
leaving
the
tomorrow is
surface.
I'm worried that you and I are just fucked if we leave to the prime material plane before getting rid of these creatures.
You've seen the state of the kingdom, Malachi. How much longer do you think those thousands can wait without?
No, I agree. We should go back
without
as soon as possible. I think you should let Van try whatever it is he's proposing, though.
yeah. So the next time when I can remember, let me know when we get a chance to remember our spells, I guess. So at some point we're going to take a rest.
Okay,
Fine.
yeah, I'm gonna work on.
well,
that.
You don't have that spell prepared right now, right?
I do have it right now.
Oh, you do.
Yes.
What is the spell?
Efficacious monster ward.
It's not.
All right.
It's not. Protected
It's not
from
an evil spell. No.
Efficacious monster ward. Okay.
Basically, if it's 2 hit dice or less, and it's not a humanoid creature, it will be forced out.
Why would you tell? Oh, you're worried that it will kill one of the.
Yeah.
Because they'll
Sure.
stealth.
Okay. Sure. How big? Yeah. Just throw down an efficacious monster ward in here.
Sure.
and
I'll
take a look
mark
at
an
it.
area with chalk then, if one of you has chalk I can use, and then I'll cast the spell around it.
I don't know how many chalk.
But let me get some new spells really fast. I want to burn my healing magic to start getting people back to the full before I memorize new spells, because it's probably on the second day or something.
Wait, before you start casting your spells, let's try and get the food. Will you both accompany me to one of these empty
Right,
rooms?
but I assume I want to go to a different room first so that I can get purified food and drink. I want to learn new spells before we start this. So I imagine this.
Yeah, I know, but this isn't going to be a simple gathering food quest. We're gonna have to kill some stuff.
Okay, but can we wait until tomorrow so I can cast some spells and then be able to purify all that meat that we get?
Yeah, all right. I thought maybe you just want to use the spells you did have.
I don't have anything to purify it. So I'm gonna burn some cure moderates. I'll do one on me. That's full HP. One on Malachi. These should be about full.
2 off.
Efficacious monster ward. Okay, so
Here, I'll read the spell for you, Neal.
yeah, I just found it in the book. So while Malachi's learning this spell, time is passing,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
so-
also be learning armor in that time.
What's your
And
chance
but
to
I guess,
learn?
but I think in the first couple, I mean, we're doing this monster word first thing. I guess, right? I didn't realize you had it memorized. I thought you were like,
Yeah, I can do it right now.
yeah.
Uh,
Let's see
What
what
level is Efficacious Monster Ward?
third level in the
Here,
Tome
I'll-
of Magic.
Yeah, I can show you the description.
Wrong fucking book. Here we go.
Um,
Efficacious priest spell. Here we go. Spell prevents monsters of 2 or fewer hit dice from entering an area of effect.
Sounds like it should work.
yeah, I
Monsters
assume
within
that thing
the area
was
of effect
2 or
are
fewer.
not.
So he has to enter
But
it. after
you cast it away from me. I
Yeah.
am a monster of far more than 2 hit die, so I can enter it. But there is this potentially like 2 hit die soul of
Yeah.
a demon, like this little imp inside of me that I may be able to wrench out by forcing it into.
Unless it has more than 2 hit die, but they die pretty fast. So I'm hoping that they're not above that.
Right. So whenever you cast the spell, are there
Alright,
any
so I'll
visual
drop
associated
efficacious
with it?
monster ward, and I tell
Holy symbol
Garrett
and
that
a
they tend
pinch
to
of
enter.
salt. So he makes a ring of salt.
Yeah.
Do
And then,
someone have salt?
Wait,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
hold on. I would call bullshit if we've never used spell components, and then we switched to 2-point Neal after I got banished to the Shadow Realm.
That is
We'd
a
have
good...
salt. You'd have salt in your in my rations anyway.
Yeah.
How much? But the
I just
amount of
think it's- I
salt
just think
that it
it's
would
kinda
take for
weird.
efficacious monster ward is not like if it was just a pinch of salt needed for the spell, that's one thing. But if you need 5 pounds of salt to make
Okay,
this big ass
it's a ring of
circle,
salt.
I
Okay,
just
Neal,
I just
I have-
call some bullshit on the idea that I wouldn't have my spell components because I don't have any. Like I never used
right.
them before in hardcore.
Are we by the
Heroes.
sea? Neil, is this by the sea? Because we can
Yes.
just get some
I mean,
seawater
but
and
another-
boil it.
Another approach. I have 20 pounds.
okay,
of iron
efficacious
rations
monster
and water.
ward
Is that
requires
not-
a pinch
does that
of
not
salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you needed to make a circle of salt. Pinch of
That's-
salt is fine, but like any sort of spell components that take a lot of material, like you wouldn't. Even if you had been doing spell components all along, you wouldn't be carrying like a 5-pound bag
like
of salt
I,
with you.
I have some spell components, like for things that
Right.
required me to enchant it. Like I have a
Yeah.
snake skin.
I
and
try to
chimera
get
tendon.
a little creative with the language, and Neal jumps down a throat.
Some of these
I-
things matter.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I sprinkle
Take
some
a pinch of
salt
salt
with
and
like an
just-
area that's been like chalked across. It's a 10-foot cube per level, so
Do you have chalk?
okay, fine. I kill somebody and just use blood as the line. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I just mark an area somehow. Maybe I like carve it into the ground. Maybe we go outside for this. But I tell Georg to try to
No, I don't want to go outside into the public.
Whatever. I cast it somewhere and tell Georg to walk into this place that I
Do it right-
point
yeah,
to.
do it right here. Right? We don't want
Yeah.
all the townsfolk seeing this.
So it's
attempted
80
exorcism.
by 80. So it's kind of a
80
big
by
section
80 by
we've-
80
we've-
cube. It's gonna be this entire room basically. This room's only 20 by 20.
Can we go? Yeah, we'll go to a different
Yeah,
room. I don't
well,
want
yeah.
to like do it where everybody's at.
But we
Sure.
yeah, but in some can we? What is the layout of the pyramid? Is it like a maze of tunnels, or is it fairly
Yeah,
straightforward?
we'll just
No,
go down
it's
into a
fairly
lower tunnel.
maze-like.
Yeah, we'll just go
Okay.
down to a lower
Which means
tunnel.
so you don't have it mapped.
Right.
Is it obvious how to get to and from the surface, or do we find, or is just travel take a long time because we're confused?
Once you know the path, it's not too difficult, and the path all the way down to this super sub basement is fairly direct. It's just
Okay.
there's kind of a hidden door that initially leads back here. Not a hidden door, but a hidden door, not a secret door. Just kind of
and I tell Georg, this is before we're doing all the memorization, right? Because I get my new spell
if
list
I had a
first?
chance,
Okay.
yeah.
So we're doing this like before they start trying to learn
think-
new spells. So I like cast it to an area, and because I don't have any chalk, I just point in the direction I want Georg to walk. And I suggest he goes backwards so it can like move out of his mouth or something if it needs to go out of an orifice to get out of his body.
Yeah, we'll see. So I start backing towards the ward. Can I feel its presence before
Why don't
stepping
we
into
find out on the other side of our break? See you guys on the other side.